Yeah, good day, everyone. Thank you.
How you doing, Trevor?
Okay.
Hey, how you doing, Lancer? Well, I'm Bohemian. It's I've been here since 2021. Before about since the beginning, almost just about. Um, and I've been around a long time. I've seen everything go up, down, sideways, and I'm very excited right now of how things are developing, especially in the DAO. And I'm very involved in the DAO, and I want to learn how to write grants so I can bring in millions and millions of dollars. Maybe not that much, but at least bring in outside grants into the DAO, and be a contributor to the growth of a decentralized DAO, not a centralized, decentralized DAO. Uh, and that's the ultimate goal.
Nice.
So
Great.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Bohemian. Glad to have you. And I just realized that my mic was on mute with the recording thing. So I'm going to say one more time Solana Grants Writing Team number two, meeting number two. Meeting number one is on YouTube. And we are just getting into introductions for the Grants Writing Team. Trevor, how are you?
I'm good, man. My name is Trevor. I'm actually a Web3 gamer. So I'm, I, I work with most of the times I work with many game companies and many game development. I work with Unity. I use Unity a lot. So I worked with a game company once. Yeah. And this actually my second time working with DAO. I've gone through that with SSB network. So now about that, it's an Ethereum. It's used for Ethereum staking. I've I've worked with them. I was their community manager. So I learned a lot during that time. And currently, and now I just got myself in this Solana grants program, and I hope I will be I'll be more helpful to you guys. And I'm really willing to contribute.
Great, Trevor. And you said you worked with a
Thank you.
game company and with Unity?
Yeah.
You did? Okay. So you,
I'm
you
I'm
work.
actually I'm actually a gamer. Yeah, I'm also a game developer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
And why
I'm
did you
from
want
I'm I'm,
to?
I'm from Africa.
Oh, from Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
On planet Earth, right?
Yeah, I'm a Nigerian.
Nigeria. Gotcha. And
Yeah.
how long have you been in Star Atlas?
Uh, Let me say like maybe 6 months or so. Not be that long.
And
Oh, well, welcome to Star Atlas. 6 months.
welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, man,
I'll
it's great to
I'll
have
be
you.
following I'll be following up the game. I was actually interested in the game, but I think the grants team is more interesting to me. So I'll stick here.
Okay. Why did you want to join the grants team?
Uh, I read through your white paper and most of the PDFs. There's a lot actually, but I've gone through all of them, and I'm not really exposed to your own steps of doing things. So I want to learn how you guys work.
Okay. Awesome. You want to learn our world. Great. And Bohemian, you said you've been in Star Atlas for many years?
Since April of 2021. April or May. I think it was April.
Hmm.
You can check my account. It says
Yeah.
right there.
What are you, Falcor? How long you been in?
Yeah, I was 2021 myself.
Hmm.
I don't know if that was September, whenever it was. Basically, the
Yeah.
rebirth posters. Like I did a couple days after the rebirth posters. I just missed those. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's good to have another OG in here. We get that can connect with the deep knowledge and then the game development too. So you're getting all the angles. It's awesome.
Oh
I've
yes, I
been
was here before the NFTs on April 3rd, 2021. That's my account says. April 3rd.
That's awesome, man. So how did you find it? I got to ask. I saw an interview on Scott Melker, and I headed straight over, and I haven't left since. So what about you?
I was already playing I'm not gonna say web. Yeah, it was a Web3, a early version of Web3, and it was a space game, but it was based on Ethereum, not Solana. Solana was very new in early 2022. Very new. It was like $7.
hmm. Huh?
That's very cool, man. Good for you.
Well, like Trevor, I've been in for about 6 months, so we're the same there, Trevor.
Yeah.
Okay, so introductions aside. Oh, we have Bodie in here. Hey, Bodie,
Hey, what's up?
Yo.
what's up?
Oh, not
Cody.
much. We were just chatting over in the other one before you guys started. So I saw
Right
you
on.
guys were over here.
Yeah, well, welcome. We're meeting number 2 for the grants writing team. We're just doing introductions.
Right on.
All right. So that's number 1. It was introductions. The second thing we want to do is go over now. Think Falcor, let's go over yours first. The transition, particularly the document that you had, and let's just walk through it, and then we'll talk after that what's possible, what's not possible for our team to do. Okay. Give me a second. Let me get the right thing going. So Falcor, thank you very, very much for doing that step by step.
Yeah, no worries, man.
All right, so here it is. What Falcor put together. And this is when he proposed the first grant for the bus, right? You did it for the bus?
Yep.
And he did it with one of the Solana grant avenues called the Super Team. So Falcor, just walk us through and direct me when to go down and how you did it.
Yeah, so basically it's sort of step by step. You go to the Solana grants, page there, and then this is just a screenshot. So the foundation grant there is actually the same grant. You're just going through the ecosystem for like a faster turnaround when you hit that ecosystem funding button. So when you hit that, it'll take you, like, I didn't screenshot it, but there's all these different areas and different streams for different funding through the ecosystem when you hit that button. And oh yeah, you're going through it there. Yeah, some of these look familiar. It's the stuff that we populated the spreadsheet and sort of added together, in the original documents there. But when I clicked on super teams here, um, this is, so it's up to 10 grand, right? Like it was just my small individual project, so that made sense. So if you scroll down here, Lancer, it should be at the bottom right. Super teams. Oh wow, you have way more than me, dude. That's interesting. So this is location. This is tweaked by the location. So all I had was maybe 5 or 6 boxes, and there it is. So there's the Canada one, but then you've got all these different countries. Okay.
Where's the Canada one?
It's if you go down one more row, there you go.
Ah, got it.
So that's the one I did. But obviously, whoever is applying for this would go for their corresponding country, and yeah, it tells everything here for you. So this is basically the same funding source through the Solana Foundation grants, except it's streamlined. So as you can see, it says 72-hour average response time and the average amount there. So yeah, basically it was pretty simple. It was like 3 pages, And
Do they give you a
so
template, Volker?
there is a template that goes along with the Solana Foundation one. I just use like that page he was just on, Lancer. If you go back, that pretty much it has guidelines, and it's similar to the other guidelines for the Solana grant. They're two different documents though, so it's easy to find when you go through there. And the FAQs were helpful. But if you go up, one of the main things for me was it's like, okay, is this just for developers, like programming kind of people? And it's like, no, no, this is where is it? Is it up there? There we go. Areas of focus. Yeah, so I was basically looking at education number 4 there, because I'm a media creator. So events, initiatives, onboarding is a big thing. That's the whole point of the Phoenix bus, right? It's like a mobile, you know, onboarding activation kind of hub, right? Or will be. That's proposed use there. So that sort of covered number 4, and then I believe it was what was the other one? Yeah, number 7.
Okay.
More inclusive financial system, right? So that kind of goes with that as well. So, I figured I had enough. There might have been another one. Which one was the other one? You just sort of pick and choose the keywords. It's like we were talking about, Lancer.
Cause-driven building, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was
Okay.
actually financial inclusion or whatever.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah,
So
you just sort
you
of give
went
them
through
back their
here
keywords and
and you
yeah,
picked one or picked a couple that fit for you. It had to be less than 10,000 USDC, and then you just follow the guidelines here on this page.
yeah. And then
Okay.
it's got a guidelines in the other ones too. So there's a couple of things where it's like, okay, well, I could have done this and that better. It's towards the end of the document, but like some stuff you shared with me, like after I submitted this, it's like, okay, I'm going to get in the super teams, but then their Discord, the chats are shut down. So you got to go in the Telegram. And then when I went into Solana, or I'm sorry, Super Teams Telegram, then they immediately sent me to Maritimes Telegram chat, which is basically I'm in Nova Scotia, so this is people like literally like pretty much in my city, right? So there's like 20 people in there. I maybe talked to 3 of them. So that was really cool. That ended up being kind of the coolest thing to come out of this, even though it ended up well, it's in the description there, but I ended up tracking them down and yeah, they rejected after like 10 days, which is fine. But now I'm
And
connected with those people on the
how did they
local
reach out to you?
Telegram, yeah, they didn't. I there was actually an email confirmation. Did I screenshot that? I'm pretty sure I screenshot the email. If you scroll down,
So wait, super team chats were shut down, and then you went to the Telegram chat with 20 members.
yeah,
Okay, keep going. Guidelines, FAQ,
yeah, I think it's
areas of focus.
yeah.
Oh,
So this is
there
where
you go.
that's where I
Yeah.
highlighted. Yeah,
So you
sorry, I
did number
skipped
1 and
around
number
too much.
4. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
And number 7.
and 7 and
All right.
7. Yeah,
So then here's the grant
and
application that you filled out. Okay, got you. You got
it,
your Telegram and everything
it's literally
else.
3 pages. Yeah.
Grant application. Wow. Okay. That that is very achievable. How about that? Okay. And
Yeah, so
then
there's the
there it
email. So
is.
it shows. So I
Okay,
only got
so
this rejection after going to the main Super Teams Canada Telegram and like, who do I get in touch with? Oh, actually, it says on the bottom. Actually, I think it was at the FAQs, like with the email, and I sent them an email, and that's when I got the rejection back.
this one here.
But yeah, there we go.
Okay.
But
So you reached out to them after not hearing for 10 days and you said they'll try their best to get it to you in 72 hours. Okay.
well, the way I put it was I wanted to update because I had mentioned that there was a documentary that was
Ah,
sort of pending, and then we got sort of the confirmation with the launch of the pip and all this sort of stuff. So I wanted to update, and I guess there was no updating. And they don't provide feedback. That's also in the FAQs. But like I said, I have this local chat now, and even though they're Telegram people, and I don't really like Telegram, it's like I'm gonna track them down. I'm building
good
what I'm
networking
building,
tool.
and they're gonna know about it. Yeah, exactly.
Drive the bus to them.
Oh, I will. It's happening, and they have pizza parties too. Like if you go back to the Solana, there was like a $200 meetup thing. It was kind of just like the thing that the the pip they're doing for Star Atlas DAO.
The
It was a
Iris
$200
Iris
meetup
Feast.
thing. Yeah, but you
Yeah.
got to be a super team member, so it's like why bother
Oh,
with that,
okay.
right? But
Yeah, well, they've already
anyways,
approved 100 grand. Looks like 22 different grant recipients, and the average grant size is 5,000 USD. Cool. Okay, so once they submitted, they responded back to you. It looks like they got back to you. Oh, there's that 10 days later.
yeah, I got the confirmation and then
Okay.
nothing. I put a whole bunch of content in their telegrams too. Like I was
Gotcha.
just pictures and video. I might do my thing on X, but
And then the historical. So, you updated the historical data file. Gotcha.
yeah, so it's in there with the dates of when it
Yeah.
was submitted and rejected and all that.
Cool.
And I put my middle name to be very official. Yes.
So this document is our historical data file that Falcor put together. It's basically a research on what other grants were approved or submitted and for how much. So kind of get a lay of the land of what's being submitted around us. And yours is number, there it is, number 16. Got it. Thanks, man. This is very, very well done. Very detailed.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate you. I mean, the way you put this together, I mean, how organized it is. It's made things easy and it's served me well in other areas as well as, I'm doing a bunch of Google Doc stuff with other things now. So
Good. I'm
appreciate you
glad, man.
sharing stuff. I've learned a lot myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we're all learning together. We're all dowing.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, a lot of people joined since we first started. So, hello, everybody. This is the grants writing team number 2. We did introductions first, and now we're going over Falcor's experience with grant submission to Solana super teams. Falcor is going to be departing the team, moving on to bigger, better things with a documentary and some other opportunities that he can't pass up. So, wish you well, Falcor, and not goodbye. Just see you later, and we'll keep you up to date as much as we can.
And then if I
So
come across any cool stuff, I'll be sure to send it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Lancer, are you saying that there's an open position for
there
the
is Bohemian.
grant writing team?
Yes, there
Ah,
is.
great.
I just got to
Let
hear
me hear.
Bohemian's voice for the first time in my life.
You kidding, Signal? This is the first time? My goodness. It can
Good to
be the
hear from
last
you, my
one
friend.
for sure. Eh, great to hear you again, Signal. I know your voice.
So yes, there is now. So Falcor will be departing. So that'll mean this position is now open, deputy program manager position, which is basically the person who co-runs it with me and does research, is responsible for the success and the failure of the team and what we intend to accomplish, which is to obtain funding for Star Atlas DAO initiatives through external grants. And Bohemian and Trevor are both on the team because they said they want to be on the team. And right now, the only requirement to be on the team is saying you want to and intending to commit to putting effort there to make it happen with us. If you don't know how to write proposals, that's fine. I do this professionally and I will teach you how to do it. We will all teach each other and we will be learning together as we identify good initiatives and submit grants. Seems like it's going to be super simple to submit grants. If they're anything like the super teams where it's like a small little 3 module, and that thing we can knock out half an hour to an hour, our first one. And yeah, so let's go over with Falcor departing the position. I'm going to need another deputy program manager. Now,
Bohemian.
there's a lot of people in this room who have not said they want to be on the team. So if you do want to be on the team, then open up the little chat window and write that, please. And in the meantime, Bohemian, would you like to be the deputy program manager?
I guess I'm the next one in line, huh? Yeah.
You are
Woo!
technically seniority of 3 days.
Mhm.
Yep.
This means you're gonna have
Only
less
took-
time to argue with Brian.
Just take out the ganga style because I'm no longer ganga. I let it go a couple days ago.
Oh, you let it go? You just Bohemian now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was only temporary. I was just doing it for fun.
Okay. So Bohemian, if you accept the role and all the responsibilities that come with it, you and I will be working closely together to make this team a success.
Perfect. So that means there'll be no difference because we're working together already.
Right. And Falcor is dropping down. I think Falcor, can I still list you as a teammate? You're on mute if you're talking,
Oh,
Falcor.
Lancer, can you tell me the benefits and the pay? I didn't ask.
The benefits
Yeah,
and the
thank.
pay. Go ahead, Falcor.
No, I think yeah, I mean obviously in the GBA, it's part of, the other things that I'm working on. So, if there's grant stuff that comes up, that could be beneficial to GBA members, and sure, I think that would be good. If
Okay.
to share guides or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't
So we
need to
can-
define it as long as it's not like a position, but that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so the benefits to joining the team. So there's mainly 4 benefits that I mapped out. First one is that anytime we submit a grant, included in the cost of those grants will be the grant preparation fees. Meaning each of us, if the grant is successful, and it won't be a lot, but it will be a small amount for that will distribute to all the teammates who built that grant. It depending on what we submit in. So for Solana, if we get paid in USDC or Solana, then a small portion of that, and we're talking maybe $100, maybe it all depends on the size of the grant. Really, it's percentage based, and it's a small percent. So don't think you're going to be getting super rich out of this. It is based on the work we put in. Second thing is networking with the business community. As we grow this, and as more people from the ecosystem get involved, you will meet a lot more faces than you probably even knew, or that I even knew. And I'm still brand new. So even within GBA, there's 20 members just there, and that's before they start their membership drive here in the coming month or two. And so we've been talking with Fal, a little bit with Stash, and Falcor is really gung ho about that as well, getting the GBA on a cadence of meetings and defining their membership criteria so that they can begin acting like a chamber of commerce and assisting each other in building the ecosystem. That presents you a networking opportunity as we work with them to identify their needs, match those to grants, and then write proposals. Last thing is opportunities for partnerships. So outside of networking with the who's who, there's also natural opportunities that will pop up if you so choose to partner with other entities within the ecosystem. That could be a GBA, it could be non-GBA. Maybe you'll see a random grant opportunity that is just perfect and outside the scope of what we're after. Well, absolutely, there's an opportunity there for you to partner up and build the ecosystem. And last but not least, I put together bullets, they're called, but like impact statements. Anytime you do things of economic value, let's call it, like getting a grant approved, some of these grants are upwards of 100,000 a piece, but probably closer to 10. So we're going to be going for every size, and we're going to be doing it based on reasonable cost estimations. All sorts of cost accounting principles we'll employ in order to put in grants that are properly sized for what it is that we're after. So some of them will be small micro grants, some of them will be mid-size, and some will be large. And it looks like the upper limit of the Solana ecosystem is 100,000. So that's their upper limit. And so that right there, obtaining approval and achieving grant approval for $100,000 or $50,000 grant opportunity, and then connecting that to the impact of what Star Atlas does, that's something that I would list on a resume, and I wouldn't feel any shame or embarrassment about it. You can too. So those are the 4 benefits of being on the team. And are there any questions?
You forgot to mention it's fun, right?
Sure. Yeah,
It's gonna
it's
be
fun.
fun.
If you're a nerd like me and you enjoy trying to find ways to be interoperable and build and maneuver in ecosystems, definitely fun. It's the only reason why I'm doing this right now. Not the only reason, but yeah, it's mostly fun. All right, if you would like to join the team, all you need to do is say, I want to join the team. That's all you need to do, and I will write your name down. And we will
Yeah.
include you in on when the next meetings are.
Yeah. Laser.
What's going on?
You
Hey,
hear me?
Trevor. I can hear you.
Yeah. I would love to ask what are the requirements to write a grant? And are the team members also allowed to maybe submit for a grant?
The requirements to write grants will vary depending on which avenue we go for. But generally, the grants that you're going for contain, I wrote it down here in slide 15, something close to a cover page, which looks good, it draws attention, something describing what it is that you will do for that ecosystem, a page that describes the team behind the proposal and the team that will execute on that grant if funded, the different costs and pricing that the grant will be funding. So that's everything from labor to indirect labor to profit, even all the stuff that breaks down the dollar figure or Solana figure that you give them. Ground rules and assumptions are basic things that you believe to be true, that if they weren't, they would change your proposal. So one ground rule assumption would be that our cost estimate is based on the price of Solana at today, X day. And if it changed more than 10% within the next 30 days, or by the time we get funded, we would need to adjust our price, or that would fall outside of what we estimated. That might be a stated ground rule or an assumption that we put in there. So that when the grant reviewers see that, they'll be like, oh, okay, they got a heads up, so it won't be a surprise to them if that happens and we ask for a cost increase. And then last but not least, probably the most important part is the technical solution, which are all the specifics of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So we're going to build a website, and it's going to be all these things. It's going to be a dApp. It's going to be on this chain and all that. It could be anywhere from 6 to 20 pages in my experience for a grant this size here. But if you're talking closer to 100,000, it's probably going to be closer to 20 pages, maybe more. And yeah, so that's the left-hand side, Trevor, of what a proposal contains, the way we'll approach it. And then per what Falcor showed us in his experience, they required far less data than what I just described to you. So here you see the project title, a one-liner description. So that one-liner description is basically the equivalent of the description of service or supply. Okay. USDC is this equivalent of cost and pricing. Then contact information is the equivalent of team and org chart. Wallet address. Proof of work. So this is basically your portfolio. That could also be part of your team and org chart. Deadline. That's part of your technical solution. So is the product details. Also part of your technical solution. Goals and milestones. That could be anywhere from technical solution to ground rules and assumptions. And then primary key performance indicators, again, part of your technical solution. So this right here for super teams is far less than what I described to you here. This is what someone expects, is basically who you are, what you're asking for, how you're going to do it, and how can they be sure that you're going to do what you say. So there it is.
So, Lancer, one thing, could you talk a little bit about the team organization? How do you put together a team? Normally, I mean, some grants are going to be one person projects, but sometimes it might require two, three, or four individuals. How do you organize that into the grant? And how do you organize the team itself? How do you get the commitment from the individuals? So when you're writing the grant, you feel assured that you can do it, right?
Yeah, part of it is just knowing what are the key strengths of your team. So one of the reasons why I had us introduce ourselves is to kind of get what is our background. So we know Trevor's a developer. So he might be a little bit more inclined toward the technical solution of stuff. I myself, I'm more of a I have some development background, but I'm mostly cover page, description, and cost and pricing. I'm closer to cost and pricing stuff. And so picking out the not just the skill set, but what does your team want to do? Maybe Bohemian, you're really, really good at team and org chart stuff, but you want to get better at technical solution. Then I would pair you up with Trevor, and same thing with Trevor. Maybe he wants to do cost and pricing. So he pair up with me. And as many people as you have, you tackle it one piece at a time. So we'll each do we already did the research. So the due diligence documents of what we're submitting to and who the entity is and what are the previous proposals. So we already did all of that stuff. Thank you very much, Falcor, for doing the vast majority of that. And once you get an idea of your research, your due diligence, then you start breaking it down. Like I would we would identify what is our first grant opportunity we want to target. Do we want to go for the DAO modules? Do we want to go for Atlas Chest? Are there anything else that the GBA people, did any of us hear something about GBA that we want to go hit? Once we identify what the grant is and which grant program we want to go after, is it the center grants? Is it super teams? What is it? That's when we start building this out one by one. Cover page, description, team, cost, GRNA, technical solution. And we'll do that together on a Google Word doc. We give ourselves about a week deadline until the next meeting. And then when we come back, we review it as a team and then tweak it. And within a couple weeks, maybe 3, you will have iterated on it enough to where it's ready to be submitted. Did that answer your question?
Oh, yeah. I have a question.
Mhm.
I would love to know more about the types of the grants program. It was just in a previous slide. Yeah,
You want to know more about the grants programs? Sure.
yeah,
So
like more about the types of the grants program.
as the grants that we want to submit or the grants that we can submit to for Solana?
Oh, all of them, both the one
Both?
we can and one we can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in our due diligence document,
I'm sorry. I would love to know the requirements. Like, is it country based? Like, do I need to be in a particular location before I can get the grant?
I missed that last part, Trevor. Why do you have to what?
No, if it's about my location, if my location is important when getting the grant, like, can I
I
be
know
an African and get the grant? Can I be
I
an
know
Europe
that
and get the
there
grant? No.
sorry, I know that there for a fact that there are a lot of grants for Nigeria. Specifically, there's a group there.
Here it
I don't
is.
know if you're familiar with
Solana Nigeria grants.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
It looks like up to 10,000. They've approved 352,000 so far with 148. If you find a grant opportunity that you want to pursue for Solana Foundation Nigeria grants, we can add that to the list as well.
Well, there's
Okay.
organizations too we might want to add, like they have the Solana All Stars Nigeria. They would be a good networking resource to find specific things to Nigeria. They're easy to find on X.
And one thing I want to add is that the list that you show of potential grant opportunities, that one is not exhausted. I mean, you can add more to it. I mean,
Oh,
as you talk
absolutely,
to
yeah.
the community, as you do research, as you get teams together, I mean, you'll be able to come up with your own. It doesn't necessarily need to follow these opportunities as listed here. This is just an example, right?
Yeah. This is all just from our own research. There's so much more. There's always more opportunity than you have time to go after. It's which ones do you want to go after based on your own priorities and your goals. And that is why I wrote down what our mission statement is: to obtain funding for things that relate to our DAO initiatives through the external grants. And reminder slide 4 here, that's basically why we're here. So we're gonna pair things that are directly associated with our DAO initiatives, and that will narrow down which grant entities are willing to give it to Solana-based DAO.
So I had a question on that, like
Mm-hmm.
on the particular initiatives, like in Star Atlas specifically, it's like you have these community developers, like whether it's Atom or Sly or like the EVI thing. We already had that PIP submitted, where these projects are generating just massive amounts of transactions, for Solana, creating a ton of fees that are way bigger than the grants that they're asking for. So that's pretty straightforward. Like if you can quantify that, right, in the numbers or a spreadsheet or something, that's a strong case, I would think. You could make to Solana directly for grants. But I guess my question would be more like, say GBA members, or like what I was doing with the bus. Like, how do you quantify that? Like on returns, would it be more like onboarding numbers? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it just
It could
seems a
be.
little bit harder to pinpoint. You know what I mean?
I normally start with who is it that's going to look at what it is that you're doing. And most of the time, I quantify by just counting stuff. So, like on your bus, count how many times you have upgraded it, or how much money you've put into it to upgrade it, or how many additions you are going to make to it. So, like a side panel, maybe that's one addition, or maybe you want to paint it. That could be a second addition. So you have to break things down into bite-sized chunks that you can then count and then list that as what you want to achieve or how you want to achieve it. Maybe you want to take it to a few different events going on. So you'd research in Nova Scotia, how many different events for these super teams are they going to host? If they're hosting 3 pizza parties next year or this year, maybe that's the number of events that you say you're going to go showcase the bus in. And if you're able to check in Facebook or Meetup or wherever how many people attended, if 20 people attended, then that's 20 times 3 eyeballs that you're exposing to Star Atlas. So you just got to start counting who is it that's going to look at what you're doing and work back from there.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So we actually got through that. We have 13 more minutes. We're going to close on the hour. Let's get into. We did introductions. We did Falcor's experience. We did what a proposal is, and we did some Q&A on how we will submit proposals and to whom let's get into the harder question. What is and what is not possible for our team to accomplish? It's great to have all these lofty goals, but if we want to do something, we gotta take a measurement of what it is that we're able to do. So Bohemian and Trevor, you are the two remaining folks on the team, and I didn't see anyone else say they wanted to join. So I'm gonna assume everyone else here is a bystander watching. So I'll only be talking to you, Trevor and Bohemian. So
We
be
can start recruiting, right?
we
Outside of
could.
this
Um,
meeting. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel that we should recruit a little bit more?
Well, we need to replace Volker. At least one, right? Or two.
I
Two,
did replace
preferably,
some
I mean.
but
Bohemian with you.
Oh, I was. See, that's a problem. Well, who's going to replace me?
True. That's true. So way forward. So Bohemian proposes we recruit more. Trevor, do you agree with that?
I'm good. I'm good, man. But
You're good?
let's but Emma, what's the limit? Like, what's the limit you want? What's the maximum amount of members?
Well, as many as we need. I just think that one or two more members would be ideal. That's what I
Okay.
think. Yeah, 5 members.
One or two more members? Okay, we can angle for that then. So Bohemian, I'm gonna put you on the spot and then I'll put Trevor on the spot. What do you feel, how much time do you feel you can commit to the team in a given week? 5 minutes, 5 hours? Where does it fall for you?
Well, it depends what we need to do, right? If there's nothing to do, yeah,
We're gonna
30
write a
minutes.
proposal.
We're gonna. Yeah, it depends on the proposal. If it's very intensive, I'll probably dedicate much more time to it that week. Then, but I guess if you're asking for an average, I think we should plan for uh, at least a few hours every week, maybe 2 to 5 hours a week,
Okay.
just to get a sense of things. Yeah.
Great. Trevor, what about you? How much do you feel that you can commit a week?
As I said before, according to the type of grants we're writing, but currently I'm just at home. Most of the times I play Web3 games, so I'm always free. So any amount of time is okay for me. Just put it down.
Okay.
But
So flexible.
can yeah. I'm always free. Just have that in mind.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna embarrass myself here in a second. I have a lot less time than that. I think I can maybe do 1 or 2 hours a week. Two probably
Oh,
max with the council responsibilities and the other things that I need to prioritize. Good news is that with two more members, it should not that should not be a problem. Once we get on into a rigmarole of matching opportunities and and get into the swing of things, we're gonna start hammering them out. Especially if it's a small little 3 module thing that Falcor showed us. Like that's simple. I'm used to writing like 50 to 100 page proposal documents. So we'll be all right. Okay, so
Yeah.
the
One.
time commitment thing is the most important. Sounds like
Yeah.
you
I
all
mean,
are able to commit enough plenty of time.
yeah. And with your experience, Lancer, 1 hour might be 8 hours for somebody else that doesn't. That's barely beginning.
You're
So yeah,
you're
I'll
very
take one
kind,
or
my
two
friend.
hours of you. Yes.
Okay. So Bohemia, I think you're probably on the right track. 1 to 2 members. How do we get 1 to 2 members? Like just take this for instance. I'm not going to call anyone out. We have plenty of people in this room, and I'm not sure why people don't want to join or what's their hesitation is. Maybe they're just unsure about what this is. What do you think, Bohemian? How should we get at this?
Yeah, I'm looking at the names in the audience, and I can almost tell you why they're not joining. a lot of them are already very busy. They're game testers, they're council members, or they were, yeah, and they're very busy. And that's on top of playing games, which is a very important part of life, you know. And so it just probably they're not joining because the people that want to join are not in this meeting. They're outside doing some other things. We just need to go and talk to them one to one, maybe.
Okay.
Or how about advertising it on the Tomorrow's Brew? Can we talk to Santi?
I think that's a brilliant idea. Yeah. I think we should
Mm,
talk to Sandy.
good.
Cool. Now, one thing that I need to reiterate again, in the very beginning, I imagined this thing was part of the DAO Council. Since then, it's become clear that's not a good fit. So we are not in the DAO Council. This is a community led thing. Even though I'm a council member, we don't yet have the endorsement of the rest of the council to do this. So right now, I am just a community member alongside you. And that's the way we'll need to approach Santi. As long as we abide by
Correct.
that, then we're fine. We can do whatever.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
Cool. All right. So I think advertising on Tomorrow's Brew makes a lot of sense. Bohemian, starting this week, I'm back to full 40 hours a week, work week. I won't be able to make any brews during my work day. I can mention it to Santi. Do you feel more comfortable approaching him, or do you want to leave that to me?
A two-prong attack would be wiser.
Awesome.
I
Okay.
can send him a DM. You do the same. He will have to answer to one of us.
Okay. All right. Which
Uh,
slide do
um,
you think?
can I
Go
ask
ahead, Trevor. Yep.
can I ask a question? Who is Santi, please?
Santi is the community manager for Star Atlas. He's
Oh,
basically
okay,
the
okay,
face. He's the face of it. Or at least that's how I perceive him to be, the face of it.
okay.
He's the guy you got to talk to about getting on the brew.
Yeah. So, Bohemian, which slide do you think we should? Maybe 2 slides, 4 and 5, or what do you think?
Definitely, the rewards of becoming a grant writer
Okay.
and joining the team. That's a big one. That's one.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you feel comfortable enough to talk to everybody in it, to be brought up to stage and talk about it?
Well, you're not going to be there, so I guess I have to do it.
Okay. Then before tomorrow, maybe tonight, we can jump on a call and I can just run you through how I would go over it, and then you can take that and do with it what you will.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right, Trevor, do you have anything else before we close?
Um, not really actually.
Okay.
No questions for now. What's how frequently are we having this meeting?
What was that? Oh, when's the next meeting?
Uh, uh, like yeah, how frequent are we?
Does this time work for you all? For you, Trevor?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Bohemian? Does this time work for you?
Yeah, we can keep it like this. It's okay. It worked well today. I have a meeting at 11 on Tuesdays, but usually ends at 12 or 1. And so, yeah, that gives me time to have lunch before jumping into this one.
Okay. I get off right at 5, so I leave work 1 minute and I'm right here the next minute. That's not a bad thing for me. So if we can push it to 5:30, that'll give me a little breathing room, but also, got little Lancer I've got to look after, so I've got to cut it off at an hour. All right.
5 for you, East Coast. Okay.
Yeah.
2 for us on the West
Right.
Coast.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Trevor, what time is it for you?
West African time, but don't worry about the time. Just know I'm free. Anytime, just sit your time. I'm free.
I like
is
his
it 2
style.
a.m. in the morning? Yeah, okay.
He says, "Don't
I'll
even worry
bring the
about it." Just
coffee. I'll bring the coffee.
cool. Well, thank you all for your time and the watchers as well. Thank you very much. I hope you'll join us one day, especially as you see we start cranking out these proposals. And the long term goal here is to get much more well connected to the GBA to where we are pushing out grants that are meaningful and impactful to them, and opens up a second stream of funding in addition to the DAO, and that we're all building the ecosystem together. That's it. Thank you all for your time.
Awesome.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. See you guys. Thanks.
Adios.
Take care.
See ya. Adios. See ya.
Adios.